What's up, boys and girls? This is episode 22 of the Chaingang podcast. And guys, we finally got Justin back this week. Thank God. Justin, how you been, buddy? It's been too long.
It has been too long. Life just gets in the way of shit, but I'm happy to be on tonight.
Yeah, Justin was too busy being a simp, but it's okay. It's okay. You know,
She dumped me.
we respect it. We respect it. Oh, it's okay.
Okay, it's
It's
okay.
okay, Justin. We're gonna make you feel better by talking football. And also, I will tell you that you know that gummy bear punishment we were supposed to do a while ago?
Yeah.
So one night I got in a different state, and I was really hungry, and it's been staring at me for a while, and my mind just said, screw it. It looks too good not to eat. So I ate the entire 1 pound gummy bear. So I did my own punishment. I just didn't film it. The whole thing. It was very good.
You dog. Oh,
it was tough.
God.
I had to take a couple breaks. Like when I got to like the arms, that was pretty tough. And then like I got to the legs, and it was just like two little legs. That was when I really had to push it. That was bad. That was like I started to get stomach aches, but I was so self-determined to finish it, even though no one else was watching.
The drive of this man.
Yes. So I don't know if we're ever gonna do that punishment again, but I kind of hope so. But anyway, I guess speaking of previous episodes, we had Stefan Logan on last week. Little bummed out you two couldn't make it. Great guy. Loved having him on the podcast. Had some really cool things to say about the different NFL teams he was on. It was cool to hear from like an actual Steelers player, how Mike Tomlin was, and how he isn't really like, he doesn't really get mad that often, but he was telling us the times he like did get like real mad. And it was just good stories all around. So it was a great time. Glad he could come on. I will leave the link to the interview in the description. So go make sure that you check that out after this one. Because I think it was a really good interview, and you guys will really enjoy it.
Moving on to the next thing, guys. There's been a lot of little things starting to build up throughout the beginning of the offseason. One thing for me was the Patriots released Calvin Ridleys, which I'm very much so against. I know he's getting kind of up there, but his contract was always manageable. He's been a great leader on the team, and he really provided a lot of depth at the linebacker position for the Patriots this year, which was a huge part of their defense. So I really don't know why they would release this kind of pivotal player, in my opinion, guys.
I think it's more of a salary cap thing, if anything. And he's just getting older. There's always these kind of cuts in the NFL, I feel like, where veteran players that have proved themselves, do get cut. And I think it's because, the amount they're getting paid is just not worth it. I mean, it kind of happened with Trey Turner last year with the Panthers. There are definitely other examples that I can't think of right now, but, it happens every year.
No, I definitely get it. I feel like with somebody who was a 1-year captain on the Dolphins, had a great year, got released, got picked up by the Patriots, had another solid year, just getting released. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think he's going to get picked up by somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. The Commanders could use him, but I think they're more focused. It's okay, Justin. Actually, when you weren't here, we coined a new term for the Commanders. I don't know if you checked out any of our previous podcast episodes, but from now on, when we say the Commanders, you have to say Commandurrrs. You got to emphasize the "der" because
on the "der."
They're dumb for making it that name. We had like a 10-minute conversation about how dumb the name was. It's a pretty good segment.
I like the football team better, actually.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I remember when they changed, when they went from Redskins to football team, I was like, okay, I'm not going to call them the football team. I'm just going to call them the Redskins. And then when they went from the football team to the Commandurrrs, I was like, okay, football team it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they're gonna pick up Kyle Van Noy. But I heard that they called the Chiefs about the availability of Patrick Mahomes.
I did hear that. I heard they've been calling a lot of teams lately.
Dude, they are so desperate for a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, rightfully so. Don't get me wrong, because Taylor Heineke is obviously not a quarterback that's going to take you to the playoffs.
Who I think could be a solid quarterback, who would have a real solid chance in Washington would be
Jimmy G.
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh,
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew, I would really love to see him go to Pittsburgh, but Gardner Minshew, I think in any system would succeed. That's besides the point. I think Mitch Trubisky on the Commanders would be a real solid combination.
Dude, is he? I don't know if he's still considered a starter at this point. Like,
I think he's considered a starter. He wasn't great, but he was also in Chicago, which even after multiple QB changes has been consistently terrible. So it's kind of like where Sam Darnold was last year, where it was like, is it him or is it the team? And now if he were to go and still suck, I'd say, okay, understandable. He's the issue. But, I think they have a solid enough offense. They really need a quarterback. And I think a year under Josh Allen in Buffalo probably helped his development. So seeing him go and at least get some sort of starting chance, I think it could be special.
Yeah, I think he really learned under a younger, faster, taller quarterback.
More talented quarterback. Now, not to mention, he just had a better coaching staff in Buffalo.
Right.
He definitely grew as a player in Buffalo. And I think he could have a shot at a starting job, especially in a place as desperate as Washington.
Yeah. And now hear me out. We could see a Matthew Stafford Detroit Lions scenario, okay, where, Matt Stafford was good on the Lions, but, the Lions were just bad, and it was the system. Next year, he wins a Super Bowl. So what I'm listening to is whatever team picks up Mitchell Trubisky is going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, Dylan.
Now they're going.
Oh,
hey, I threw that out. That's a theory. I truly do not believe that. I think there's so many other better quarterbacks.
Why would you make a theory that you don't believe, though?
But I'm saying, like,
there are so few good quarterback options out there.
There's some. You got Deshaun Watson, right? Jimmy G, Jameis Winston, who is honestly solid. I think
he's underrated.
The Saints were like 5-2 with him starting. And I know the Saints are obviously a well-rounded team, but he still looked good.
I agree. I think Mitch Trubisky is a top 5 QB this offseason.
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
I could agree with that.
That's how weak the competition is. I mean, you don't know if Deshaun Watson is actually going to clear his suits. I don't know what's going on with that, but still a huge question mark. Russell Wilson, you don't know if he's getting traded. You don't know if Aaron Rodgers is getting traded. So really it's coming down to maybe Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, Mitch Trubisky. Like, these are the guys that you're going to see move. Gardner Minshew, I think, again, would be great, but I'm leaving him out because we talk on him all the time.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's determine if Mitchell Trubisky is in like top 5 for free agency quarterbacks. So I'm going to list off quarterbacks, okay, and then you tell me whether or not you would rank him, which one you would rank higher. Okay. So first up, we got Jameis Winston or Mitchell Trubisky.
Winston.
I'm going below Jameis Winston.
Oh,
okay. Let's go Teddy Bridgewater.
I think
below. What?
So okay, you're ranking Bridgewater over.
No, Trubisky over Bridgewater.
You're ranking him over Bridgewater. Both of you.
Yeah.
Really?
I think Bridgewater's just done. I don't think he's kind of washed.
I think Bridgewater is a fine quarterback. I think he's always going to be a fringe starter quarterback. And I think that's his max. Everyone knows that is his max. Mitch Trubisky, I think you have a lot of potential in him. I mean, there's a reason he was that high of a pick. There's reasons for all of it. So I think he does have talent.
Okay, I just think Bridgewater would put up better numbers.
First off, Bridgewater never puts up more than 2 touchdowns. Any game. 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. I'm just saying he's better than Trubisky. At this point, right now, if I were to start a team with either Bridgewater or Trubisky, I'm taking Bridgewater.
I think you do have to factor in potential, but I'm going Trubisky. If I'm the Commanders, I'm taking Commandurrrs. I'm going for Trubisky.
Good catch. So I guess then you would rank Trubisky over Marcus Mariota then.
Yes.
Okay. Man, there really is nobody. Like, I mean, I'm trying to prove you wrong by not saying he's the top 5, but the guys I'm looking at, like Josh Rosen, Blaine Gabbert, Joe Flacco, Jacoby Brissett, Cam Newton, like these. Wow, Jameis Winston is looking like a dime in this array of. So, Ben Roethlisberger though.
Some team is gonna way
Ben
overpay
Roethlisberger retired.
These quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Commandurr's best option is to just trade for a quarterback because they have a good enough team where if they get even a solid quarterback, they're making a run, especially in the NFC East. So I think Jimmy G is their most realistic option. I think they should go for Deshaun Watson if they can, especially since those are 2 quarterbacks that are usually pretty accurate, and Terry McLaurin has not had I think I saw a stat that said only 60% of his targets were catchable, which is by far lowest in the league. And he's too good of you got to put the ball in his hands. He's your best offensive playmaker, and when he's just not even having the option of catching the ball, obviously that's going to have effect. Like we saw. I could see them drafting a quarterback, but again, I think I love what teams are doing now with the, kind of stashing the rookie quarterback for a year, letting them learn. I truly don't think any quarterback should be starting first year. So yeah, I think they should go for Deshaun Watson. I don't know what his value is at that point. I feel like that's so tough to determine. Because with, the pending legal cases and, it has been a year. He hasn't played a game in a year. So I know he's still young, but that's something.
Yeah, no. Given that he clears everything, even if he doesn't clear everything, I think he still holds some sort of value. I'm just not sure if it's enough to where – because Washington is a very serious team if they get a decent quarterback. Like, they are a playoff contending team. And – I don't know if they'd risk that on a guy who they may not have and then be stuck in the same position minus – well, I guess the cap wouldn't hit if he went to jail or something like that. But so I don't know if they'd want to give up those assets to get a quarterback who may not ever play for them.
Yeah, it's such a tough situation as the Commanders because, Aaron Rodgers just got offered that huge deal. I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if they released the specifics on it, but it said it was going to break the quarterback market or something like that. And I don't see Aaron Rodgers wanting to go to the Commanders. So I think he's probably out. Josh McDaniels seems to like Derek Carr, so he wasn't really a real option in the first place, but he seems to stay. Honestly, outside chance, Baker Mayfield.
I could see that. I would like that.
I think I would like that combination too, because it's weird. I think the Browns. I don't think they're going to give him an extension, but they're going to let him recover from his surgeries and see what he can do in the last year of his contract. So we'll see what the Commandurrrs do at quarterback. I fully expect them to draft a quarterback, whether they trade for one or not. I think that's just smart, on their part. But speaking of maybe drafting a quarterback, I don't know if you guys watched a lot of the Combine, but I just saw some highlights. And there were some standouts that definitely moved up their draft stock. After the first couple days of the combine. The first one being Desmond Ritter, who I always thought was not talked enough about as a solid QB option, for teams. So I mean, what did you guys like what did you like about him that you saw at the combine?
Now, I've been watching Desmond Ritter for the last 2 years. There were talks about him going into the draft last year, and I think he was predicted at like a third or fourth round. So he still held plenty of value, top 8 quarterback in last year's draft. I think he's very talented. You saw him lead Cincinnati to the playoffs this year, which no one thought was going to happen, being a group of 5 team. And I think he could be the next Cam Newton-esque type player. I think he has that kind of skill set.
Yeah, I really like him. For me, it's just like, I mean, he's great, outside the pocket and everything, but I don't know if he's a good enough passer to, make it in the NFL. Like, I don't know. It seems like he has a problem with accuracy, actually hitting his receivers. And I think as a rookie quarterback, I mean, obviously, every rookie quarterback is going to have his downfall, but I mean, I feel like that's definitely one where it kind of stands out a little bit, but don't get me wrong. He's got the ability to get out of the pocket. He's more than enough arm strength, so teams don't really have to worry about that. But I don't know if he looked better because a lot of the quarterbacks weren't like doing, a lot of the athletic testing. So I don't know if he just looked a lot better because of that. But I mean, I was still impressed with, what he was able to do.
Yeah, I'm not huge on any of the quarterbacks really in this draft, at least not like I was last year. Last year, I thought there were some real gems. I think Desmond Ritter is top 2.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, exactly.
Zach Wilson was the real gem in that draft.
I think Desmond Ritter's real talent is just his physicality. That's why I said I think I could see him be the next Newton. I don't think he's a great passer. I just think he has a bunch of raw talent, and if he got on the right team, they may have a window to win something there.
Yeah, I think he could move up to a first-round pick, honestly, because, like you said, the quarterback class is like it's. I wouldn't say it's necessarily weak. It's just like there's nobody that is like standing out like NFL ready, I would say. So it's a weird quarterback class. So we'll see what happens with Ritter. But I mean, if he goes past the second round, that's going to be a steal for anyone that grabs him. But dude, one guy I was really impressed with, who is by far, I think, has had the best combine performance, is Jordan Davis, who's a D tackle for Georgia. He's like 6'7", like 350 or like 370. I don't know. He's somewhere up there. He had a 4.82 40-yard dash. He tied for the best vertical jump of someone of his size and weight, and he has the best. He broke the broad jump record.
Nuts.
That's dude,
insane.
I mean, 4.82 is ridiculous for a guy that size.
Absolutely. I think he's a stud. I think he's someone who can come in the NFL right away and produce. I mean, he's just physically he's a monster, but, going to Georgia, he's also very technically skilled. And I think he's going to come in and have a great rookie season.
Actually, Dylan, it was even faster. 4.78 40.
It was 4.78?
Even faster, sub 4.8.
God. Jeez. Dude, I think he had a faster time than the ones I saw were, I think he had a faster time than Jarvis Landry and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Definitely Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, faster than Jarvis Landry?
Yeah, I mean, like Patrick Mahomes, I was like, okay, but like I would say he's pretty fast for a quarterback. Like I would say he's still a mobile quarterback, but like, yeah, like to outrun a receiver, like for the 40, that's insane. That's ridiculous. How do you block that? How do you block a 6'7", 370-pound guy who runs a 4.78 40-yard dash? And keep in mind, he has an amazing vertical. So he's going to either block the pass or sack you. You can't cover that.
I mean, it's the NFL. Everyone is a physical freak, so I think they're going to find ways to cover him. But man, he's going to be great to watch. I think easily he's a top 15, if not top 10 pick.
Yeah, I do. I mean, yeah, this guy obviously increased his draft, stock more than anyone. I'm excited to see who takes him. I really hope it's not any of the AFC North teams because no way the Steelers are going to be able to block that. We could put our whole offensive line on them, and it's not happening. So those were two guys to me that really stood out. Carlin Barnes was like 0.01 away from breaking John Ross's 40-yard dash record. So there were two guys that were really close, both defensive backs. So props to those guys. But guys, leading into the draft, I got a couple questions for you that I've been thinking about because this draft feels a bit odd compared to past drafts. In the fact that just like there's a lot of uncertainty with what teams are going to do and like where players are going to be taken. So we talked about it, not being a quarterback heavy or really a good quarterback class. So do you guys think a quarterback will be taken in the top 5 picks? And if not, when do you guys think a quarterback will be taken?
Not a chance. I don't think there's a chance one gets drafted in top 5. If any of the team's top 5 take a quarterback, I think they're stupid. At earliest, I'd say was I think 7th and 8th pick. It's Falcons and then Commandurrrs. Maybe them, but even then, I don't know if they go quarterback. I'd say mid first round probably is when you see the first one go off the board.
Statboy?
Well, let's look at the draft order. Number 1, the Jaguars. They already have Trevor Lawrence. They're not going to draft quarterback. 2, Detroit Lions. I think they're going to keep rolling with Goff, keep going with him. The Texans, I don't think they can draft a quarterback right now. They just need anything else because with Deshaun Watson's situation, I don't think they need to add even more quarterbacks to the room. That would be, I think, a mess.
And hey, Davis Mills put up a solid rookie season. I liked what I saw in Davis Mills, so I agree. I don't think the Texans should. I think if anything, they're probably going to take an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 4, New York Jets. They have Wilson. 5, New York Giants. They already have Denny Dimes.
Now, so honestly, I think
it's not a good situation.
I think you could see New York go with a new quarterback next year. I don't think they're going to draft one by any means, but I think you could see him with a new quarterback.
Yeah, they don't like Danny Dimes. They're definitely trying to ship him out and get someone new in. But through the draft, I don't think this is the year to draft a true franchise quarterback. That would be with a top 5 pick. I think you want something a lot better. Go defense, maybe go O-line or something like that. And so any other weapons. But the next team that maybe possibly could be the Falcons at pick number 8. I don't think the Denver Broncos at 9 will because they have a good team around them. I think they can trade for a better quarterback. And then 11, maybe a Washington football team, maybe, but
the Panthers are picking at 6. I think you may see the Panthers take one, but still, I don't think there's any quarterback worthy of being taken top 10.
100%. I am taking Kenny Pickett in the top 10 if I am like 6 of these teams. 100%. Dude. I love Kenny Pickett. No. I love from what I saw from him. I love his stature. He's a mobile quarterback. He's accurate, strong, winner. I love the man. I'm taking him. If I'm the Giants, if I'm the Falcons, if I'm the Broncos, if I'm the Panthers, that's at least 4. Honestly, if I'm the Commandurrrs, I'm thinking about trading up to get him.
Definitely not trade up.
Who, the Commandurrrs?
Any of these teams, I don't think you see anyone trading up.
Well, look, but I mean, look at so the Giants have 2 picks. They have 5 and 7, and the Jets have 4 and 10. Now, if I'm the Giants, again, there's not really the Commandurrrs because of how desperate they are at quarterback. I could see them trying to give up a lot to move up to 7, or 5 to get in front of the Panthers to try to get Kenny Pickett. So, I mean, I don't know. I could see them move up, but I think, I think the Falcons could honestly take a quarterback. The Panthers are going to take a quarterback. That's guaranteed, and it's going to be Kenny Pickett unless the Commandurrrs trade up to get him at 5.
I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett. He's my favorite in the draft, but I'm just not super sold on any of these quarterbacks. None of them stand out like the quarterbacks we've seen in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, so I think, yeah, I agree. I don't think the Giants are going to take – they're not going to take a quarterback. Although they did, if we remember, the guy they have now, they did select at number 4, I believe. He was a top 5 pick, right?
Danny Dimes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. He was up there. He was like 5 or 6, maybe 4. So, it's not out of character. It's not. Oh, number 8. Okay, that's still kind of high.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Matt Ryan's probably on his way out. Denver could take one, but I think. I mean, I don't know.
Denver's going to be going real hard trying to pursue a top-tier quarterback. I think you're seeing them offer multiple first-round picks, multiple players for Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. I think you're going to see him with a pretty established quarterback.
Yeah, I agree because they do have a win now team, with their solid O-line, great wide receiver core, and great defense. Yeah, so we'll see. The quarterback class is so weird this year. There's not going to be a lot of guys, really praised or, taken too high. But guys, my next question for you: the Eagles have 3 first-round picks, which I know Statboy is kind of excited about or terrified. I'm not really sure. But they're like 15, 16, and 19. So, all mid-round picks. Honestly, with, this probably is one of the best times to have, like, if you're going to have 3 picks, in those areas, because I feel like that's where a lot of the skill players or just in general, like the athletic freaks that, are in, less than probable positions like D-line or wide receiver are going to be taken. But I mean, the Eagles are also known for, they do need a quarterback, or at least are kind of shopping for one. So my question to you guys is, do you see the Eagles trading one of those first-round picks? And if you do, is it going to be for a quarterback or for a higher draft pick?
Now, like I said earlier, I don't think there are many players that teams would want to trade up for in this draft. I don't think there's anything that couldn't be serviced later down, outside the top 5. So I don't really see them trading up. I could see them trading picks, but if I'm the Eagles, I say, you have a lot of weaknesses in a lot of areas, and you try to address those and build to the draft. You have 2 really young quarterbacks, outside of your D&O line, like it's a pretty youthful team. Receiving core is very young, secondary, decently young, and I think it would be really good for them to just pick up additional pieces and build around that. And also I could see them trading back because, that number 16 pick is going to be worth a couple seconds, maybe this year, future year, a couple later round picks that I think could be really useful. So maybe they trade back and just build capital.
Statboy, I mean, I'm waiting to hear your answer because, I feel like you got the inside information.
There's one thing we know about our GM, Howie Roseman, is that he is always looking to upgrade. We've told the press time and time again this year, Jalen Hurts is our guy. He's the one. But Howie has been just like a fly to that old crappy potato salad in your fridge. He's been on the Sean Watson case so hard. He has been all over it. He's been looking looking to see what will happen. Because as soon as if that clears up, he will trade everything. He will sell the house. He will sell the farm for Deshaun Watson to come to Philly. He is all in on that. He can't say he is, though, because of the situation, but we all know that he is. That's the only way we're giving up any of these picks, I think, in lieu of drafting some just potential defensive linemen or wide receivers. That's the only way. Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, one of those top-tier quarterbacks is open. That's the only way we're going to get rid of those picks.
Howie Roseman will trade Lincoln Financial Field to get Deshaun Watson. Okay, he will use $1 billion asset, probably or hundreds of $1 million asset to get Deshaun Watson. But yeah, I agree, Stepboy. I think really the only guy that they're going to use these first round picks for is probably Russell Wilson, because I don't see Deshaun Watson wanting to go there. But I mean, the Eagles, they got some holes that they need to fill. And I think the really good wide receivers are right around, where the Eagles are picking. Like Drake London from USC, you got Jameson Williams, Chris Olave from, Ohio State. These are great receivers that the Eagles definitely need, because, their options right now are, Devonta Smith has been good. I'll give you that.
Number one. He's the number one guy.
But, after that, you got Jalen Reagor, who can't find his hands.
He's going to be out of Philadelphia very soon. As soon as possible, he's just going to leave. He's probably not going to make it back.
Dallas Goedert's obviously a solid option, but he's not really a receiver. I can't even think of your other receivers. I know Deshaun Jackson's not there.
No, not anymore.
You don't know any more receivers?
The one other rookie with Deshaun, with Devontae Smith. I can't remember his name right now, but he.
Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins is going to develop into a really good right.
I was going to say he was actually kind of solid, but
he was really good. He just did not get the reads from Hurts, because Hurts is a bad quarterback.
Hurts isn't a bad quarterback. He's a young quarterback playing in Philly.
Is he though?
I think Hurts is a solid quarterback.
He is. Yeah, you haven't been watching the same games as me, Justin.
I think he's a young guy with a lot of holes on his team, which is why you need to draft.
Trust me. Next year, if he does well, I will buy a Jalen Hurts jersey and wear it all around. I will wear that for a solid week if he does well for the next year.
I'll buy one now. I love Jalen Hurts.
He is so bad. There's no way he does well next year. He's got a great work ethic, but you can't teach him these ways to get better, because his accuracy is terrible. He's got a noodle for an arm. He has no field vision at all. You can't teach him to do better in those fields.
Look, this was essentially
there's no way to improve on that.
I think you let him play out, get adapted to the NFL. Give him a little bit. It takes a lot. 2-3 years
and a half. And the bad part,
a year and a half is not a long time in the NFL.
You cannot fix. He is going to be at best a backup. That's what he was drafted for, to be a backup. And then the Carson Wentz situation flops, and now he is a backup trying to start as be a starter.
I don't think he's a backup. I think he's just a young quarterback.
So, but I love how you framed it, like, you getting a Jalen Hurts jersey and wearing it was like a punishment, but you're supporting your own team.
I hate him that much. That much.
But he took you to the playoffs. How can you hate him that much?
He took us to the playoffs? Our running game took us to the playoffs.
Which he was a part of. He was like a huge part of that. He's like half the reason why you guys were there. Your defense is good, don't get me wrong, but and you also face crap teams, but he was in that running game. He was there. So you can't put I know in the playoffs he looked really bad, obviously.
He was no.
Yeah, because it was a young quarterback in the playoffs. They never look good.
Exactly. Yeah, look at Mac Jones.
Tell you what, guys. If there's 1 million Jalen Hurts haters, I am one. If there's 1,000 Jalen Hurts haters, I am one. If there's 100 Jalen Hurts haters, I am one. If there's 10 Jalen Hurts haters, I am one of those 10. If there's one Jalen Hurts hater, that is me. And if there's 0 Jalen Hurts haters, because I have died. End of story.
All right, guys, you hear it here first. If Jalen Hurts is getting too much praise and you don't see any, retribution or contest with that, Stat Boy's dead. He's out like a light. All right, well, I think that's enough Jalen Hurts slander today. I'm sorry, Jalen, if you're listening. Stat Boy does appreciate what you've done, even though he says he doesn't. Trust me, he does. But, guys, to finish off the NFL draft questions, I got one more. For the first time in a while, I feel like there's not a predetermined number one pick. So who do you guys think is going to be the number one overall pick, assuming that the Jags have the number one overall pick? Like if they don't trade out or anything.
O-line Evan Neal out of Alabama, I think is about as surefire as you can get.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Jags have to go online, right? Like
absolutely.
They with Trevor Lawrence kind of struggling. I think that would be the best option because he has solid receiving weapons, not great, but solid. So I agree. I think they need to take an offensive lineman. So I like Evan Neal or the dude from NC State. Yeah, I can't say his name, but yeah, him. So I like either of those two options for the Jags. But because there is a possibility that the Jags trade out, but I don't see any real strong interest in, teams trading up for the number one pick. I could see one of the two edge rushers, Hutchinson or the dude from Oregon. I could see one of the two of them going number one overall.
Yeah, I think they're super talented, but just going off of needs, I think O-line is by far the biggest need on the Jags. So assuming they have the pick, I don't see anyone not O-line going off the board. And really, I think Evan Neal is about as surefire as you can get. At the very least, you're getting a solid starting O-line.
Yeah, and that's what the Jags need. And, so I don't see – like I said, I don't see any team trading up. Stat Boy, do you have anything to say about number one overall pick?
Well, here are the odds for the number one overall picks. Evan Neal is minus 115, so there's a really good chance he goes first. Aiden Hutchinson, plus 275. Akeem Ekwonu, plus 400. And then Kayvon Thibodeau is plus 1,200. So it seems that Evan Neal is the clear front runner and has a really good chance, barring the Jaguars just doing something weird. So I think he will be a very, very, very good chance of going number one.
Okay. See, I don't know if he was at the Combine, though. So I think that might hurt him. I don't know if he's injured or sidelined or whatever, but I think if he's not in the Combine, there's a solid chance that he gets passed up. Because I think teams have had, issues with him. I'm not really sure. But I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely probably going to be one of those four. It'd be very odd if it wasn't. But, yeah, so we'll talk more about the NFL draft, as it comes a little closer. But figure just mention it a little bit since, that's kind of the main thing going on right now in the NFL. But another thing that kind of happened that's, kind of in the, main talk of football right now. It actually just happened today as we're filming this on Monday. Calvin Ridley got suspended for the entire 2022 season for gambling on his own team. Guys, I don't even know. I don't really understand this one. I think it apparently happened when he wasn't with the team, so it was in that 5-week span or whatever it was that he was on leave. But yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, does he deserve the suspension? Is it just silly?
It's dumb as hell. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen an NFL player get suspended for, especially one this serious. I don't know what's been going on with Calvin Ridley. I mean, there go my hopes that the Pats get him this offseason. But I don't know. They weren't even good bets. He was betting for the Falcons in parlays.
Yeah.
Like, I think they said he didn't win any of them. It was just it's such a stupid move.
And it, like by the NFL or Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley.
Okay. So you think it was in the NFL's like right to suspend him?
I think it's kind of stupid, but I'd rather have them not be able to vote or gamble on their own games than have rigged games.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it, I guess.
it's such an odd thing because like I mean I understand like I agree with him getting suspended. I don't think NFL players should really be able to gamble on games, even if they're not playing. It just seems suspicious. I know obviously he didn't have like he didn't like rig the games or like pay people off to win him the games because he did lose the money and it wasn't even that much money. It was $1,500, which I mean, obviously for us, that's a lot of money, but for him, that's like chump change. That's nothing. So I'm a little frustrated, honestly, with the NFL that they suspended him for the entire season. He should not be suspended for the entire season.
I think it's a little egregious, but like you have to make an example out of somebody, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like even if it was like 8 games, that would be an example.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a little much, but on the same note, what the consequences for gambling when you play the sport. Like,
I mean, yeah.
At the end of the day, it comes down to why the would he even do that? First off, it's a bad bet. Second off, the consequences or the potential consequences. And you have contacts on the team where if you don't know the consequences, you can reach out and ask in a matter of seconds. Like, it's such a stupid, simple mistake to make.
Well, Justin, it's okay because he doesn't have a gambling addiction. So I feel like that should help his appeal, because he doesn't have one. So, like, it should definitely be less, because he doesn't have one. See, if he did have one, his career's over. Gambling addiction, it's Michael Jordan all over again. Might as well go to baseball.
He was going to take off next season anyways.
I was just saying, he could run track. That could be his alternate sport. I don't really see him playing basketball. I don't see him getting into curling. That doesn't really seem like a Calvin Ridley sport. But, I mean, he has other options. He can go out for track. He could join the Chaingang podcast. Calvin, we'd love to have you on all the time.
Yes, Calvin.
As a permanent guy. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Matt Ryan because, I mean, you're already suspended and Matt Ryan's probably going to leave after the season. So, what's the harm there? But, yeah, I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just one of the dumb things that NFL players do. It's honestly, I think it's one of those things where I think he like probably, second guessed it going in. He probably hesitated, but he's like, it's so stupid that like there's no way they're, going to get me for this or that they're going to actually like care enough. So because did he say that he didn't know that it was a rule?
No, I
don't know if he said that. He never said that. Okay. Okay. I mean, because
there's no way you don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feel like it's one of the most obvious things that you don't gamble on your own team when you're playing. I mean, Pete Rose learned that lesson. He's still learning that lesson after not being in the Hall of Fame for forever. So it's just unfortunate, honestly, because Calvin Ridley was such an up and coming receiver. I mean, not that he still can't be after the season, but I was excited to see, if another team would have picked him up or, if the Falcons would have just been better in general. But, I mean, Matt Ryan's he's done. I don't know why they are sticking with him, honestly. I think they just draft, please, Falcons, can you please draft a rookie quarterback this year? Let Matt Ryan stay another year.
Man.
Have him learn under Matt Ryan. Then throw the guy in when Calvin Ridley's healthy.
Dude, Calvin Ridley, I mean, he was really just coming in as like a borderline elite receiver. I think definitely a superstar before last season. And now he's going to be missing. He missed last season, obviously. Now he's going to be missing next season. He's going to come back at 28, maybe 29.
Wow, that's actually kind of ridiculous. I didn't realize he'd be that old.
Yeah, he's 27 right now. So a year from now, you're going to see, depending how the months fall, I don't know, around 29.
I would say he's probably still then has a solid like 2 to 4 years left of like quality production. Like,
I mean, maybe, but not playing your sport for 2 whole years takes an effect on your game.
I mean, he did play for the first part of like last season, so like he at least like he did miss the second half, so like obviously that takes a toll, and it's going to be tough for him getting back in, but he's he's going to stay in shape, he's going to keep going, but I don't know. I was excited for another team to pick him up because he would
have been great on the Patriots.
Well, no, but he would have been a game changer, offensively for a lot of teams. He probably wouldn't have been used that much on the Patriots, considering that, all they know how to do is hand the ball off. But, I guess it worked to a point, and then Josh Allen showed up, and so it's tough times. But I feel like the Patriots could have like 3 top 10 receivers, and they still wouldn't throw the ball. They just be like, no, we just want you to block. That's why we got you. Just block. That's why Juju is going to be a perfect fit. He can just block. He's a pretty good blocker. You saw that block he had on Vitez Burke a couple
They do
years
pass
ago?
the ball.
Sometimes. Yeah.
They just have good game plans.
Yeah. They'll have the one once a game, they'll just heave it up to Nelson Aguilar. Say, Nelson, just go run. Just go run. Mac will try to find you. Don't drop it or you're cut.
They don't let anyone be a star player, which is why they really never have to pay massive contracts because their system is built around that.
That's true. You know what? I was going to say,
fan.
I'll give them credit. They have been like, it seems like they've never been huge in the free agency market. And I mean, they had Tom Brady, so, that's how they were winning. But, past couple of years, past 2 years, I guess, they've been okay. They've been solid without him. So, props to them. But yeah, boys, sucks for Calvin Ridley. Again, Calvin, just come on the show. We, in between training, we don't have to talk about what happened. If you don't want to, we get it. It's a sensitive issue, but there's a lot of other stuff we can talk about. So guys, make sure you tag Calvin Ridley. No, don't actually tag Calvin Ridley. But that would be funny if you saw this. But all right, boys, those are all the topics that I got today. I'm glad, Justin, that you could actually, come on an episode for once. It's been a while. Yeah, we never got to do the Zach Wilson jersey punishment, which very unfortunate. We'll have to make it. We'll have to do it next season. Do you know what the Zach Wilson punishment would have been?
Where I had to wear the Zach Wilson jersey?
Yeah, I did buy the jersey, because it was a giveaway. So I bought it just for you. And then you had to win and not be punished. So that was unfortunate. You could have been a proud owner for a week of a Zach Wilson jersey, but you missed your opportunity. I hate to break it to you.
You did give it away, right?
Yeah, I gave it to I forget who won it, but it was one of the Jets podcast accounts that entered. Yes, I have evidence that I shipped it out and everything. I can get the person to take a picture of the jersey if you guys really want. I don't do fake. There's no fake stuff on Chaingang podcast. Okay, everything's legit. All giveaways are real.
Viewers are calling us shiesty.
Yeah, no, all of our giveaways are legit. I promise you. Okay, we would have done a Joe Burrow giveaway if he would have won the Super Bowl. Also for Stat Boy, because he had some Joe Burrow merch that he wanted to buy, but he then was scared of looking like a bandwagon, hopping on the bandwagon if he would have bought Joe Burrow stuff. But yeah. Anyway, guys, do you have any last thoughts before we officially sign off?
Kyle Van Noy wins the Super Bowl next year.
Whatever. I mean, on whatever team picks him up. He just carries him to the Super Bowl. Sure. He might go back to Miami. Stat Boy.
Calvin really bet $1,500, only to lose $11 million. Worst bet in history.
That's so true. I didn't even think about that. Oh, dude, Calvin Ridley is down bad right now. Send your prayers and your thoughts and your good luck to Calvin Ridley. He really needs it right now, guys. But yeah, my last thought, go watch the Stefan Logan interview. Great interview. Loved having him on. It was our first of many NFL players, former NFL players, to come on the podcast. We will get more because, we're determined like that. And yeah, we got
the sauce.
Yeah, we got the sauce. No, but seriously, my last thought, go check out the Stefan Logan interview. Great guy. Had a great time with him. Hopefully we can maybe have him on in the future. That would be awesome. But go hear his kind of NFL stories. There's some pretty good ones in there too. Hopefully we'll be getting some USFL guys on here too, because a couple of them have gotten back to me and are interested. So also stay tuned for that. Because we'll talk about the USFL a little bit. We'll throw it in.
Absolutely.
Obviously not as much as the NFL, but I'm excited for the USFL season. There's 2 PA teams of the 8 teams. There's 2. There's Philly and Pittsburgh.
Nice.
And shout out to Terry Myrick, who is a previous guest on our other podcast, Next on Deck. He made the USFL for the Michigan Panthers, so congrats to him. But yeah, I'm excited to get these interviews rolling out. Let us know if you want us to ask them any particular questions. I'm excited to hear what their gas station order is. Because that's a question we really want to know out here on the Chaingang podcast. So thank you, Boy. Thank you, Justin, for coming on this week. Really appreciate it. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and hopefully we'll get an interview with a USFL guy next week, but we will see. But anyways, see y'all next week.